Hey everybody, Cinema Sickness here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, head out to one of my local thrift stores who are having a 50% off sale on their entire store. So I got myself some great titles, so let's take a look at what I got. The first thing we'll talk about are the 7 CD soundtracks I picked up. You know, I have yet to get around to listening to any of these, so I don't really know much about them, so I can't actually give my thoughts on them, but I'll let you know what I picked up. First one I grabbed here was a soundtrack to Titan 80. Then I got the soundtrack to 54, this year being Volume 1, and I do already own Volume 2. Then I got the soundtrack to Space Cowboys, great film. Then the soundtrack to The Truman Show. The soundtrack to GoldenEye, another great film. The soundtrack to Dangerous Minds. And finally the soundtrack to The Preacher's Wife. Yes, I did pick up the soundtrack to this because, well, I do have the movie. As you guys know, I also collect cinematic trivia games, and it's been a while since I picked some up. So today I grabbed 2, and the first one I picked up was Cheers. That's it. It's just called Cheers. Not Cheers the game, not Cheers the trivia game, just Cheers. But the description at the bottom does say, a fun trivia game about America's favorite neighborhood tavern. That is awesome. I absolutely love this show. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. And I did just recently pick up the entire series on DVD, and I actually am in the process right now of watching it, so this was a great buy. And the second trivia game I picked up was Trivial Pursuit Lord of the Rings, this year being the Movie Trilogy Collector's Edition. Love Lord of the Rings, love Trivial Pursuit, put them together, I'm sure you get a great game. I do have some other cinematic Trivial Pursuit games. They're a lot of fun, great trivia games, and I cannot wait to sit down and play this. Then I picked up one DVD, and that was Son of Paleface, starring the great Bob Hope and Jane Russell. Those 2 names sold me on this, and I actually have heard some good things about this movie over the years. Apparently it's a great Bob Hope film, so I definitely had to grab this one. Then I picked up one DVD, and that was Kiss Me Monster. Now this is a complete blind buy. I had never even heard of this title, but it did intrigue me. I really like the artwork. I like the fact that it comes in this really cool green case. It also is an Anchor Bay release. Usually Anchor Bay tends to release at least somewhat decent movies, so I definitely had to pick this one up. I really look forward to checking it out. I'm expecting a good cheeseball movie, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Next, I actually picked up 2 Betamax tapes. Very happy to come across these. And the first one I grabbed here was, and I'm going to have to read this, Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. Very odd name for a movie, but I definitely wanted to pick it up. It gets pretty decent reviews online, and I can't wait to check it out. And the second Beta tape I picked up was The Maltese Falcon, which I did just also recently pick up on DVD, so finding this was a great deal. Then I saved the best for last. This title I was very excited to get a hold of, and that was Backdraft. Now I do already own this movie on DVD, so you may be wondering why I'm so excited to grab this. That is because this here is a DIVX, or otherwise pronounced DivX, I have her pronounced both ways, release. I do not currently have this format within my collection, so I'm very excited to get this. I love adding new formats to my cinematic media library. Now for those of you who do not know, this format was actually a failed rental format by Circuit City. The idea was you bought this disc, you actually did purchase this, I think for around $3 or $4. You brought it home, and you could watch it once within a certain time period, and that was it. Again, it was a rental. You could only play it in certain DVD players that actually let you play DIVX movies. It was kind of like a program set up, I think, through the phone lines. Then what you could do is if you wanted to watch it again, you could pay to watch it again, or you could pay a certain fee to actually own the movie and watch it for, I guess, I would say forever, but as long as the format was around. And like I said, this was a failed format, so for anybody out there who actually did purchase one of these movies, paid the extra to watch it forever, well, obviously you weren't able to watch it forever. So I'm very happy to get this and add this to my collection, even though I can't actually watch this disc, because like I said, the format doesn't exist anymore. The program that you need to actually watch these, obviously, isn't around anymore. You can't plug up your special DVD player to a phone line and actually still watch these. Doesn't quite work that way. Although I do hear that there is a program you can download for your computer to actually let you watch these. I haven't tested that out yet, but I'm going to look into that and maybe I actually can watch this disc. But regardless, even if I can't watch this, I definitely want to pick it up for collecting purposes, just because it's history. It's cinematic, format history. This is a format that failed, a rental format that did not last very long. So very happy to add this to my collection. So that's it for what I bought today, so now it's what I watched. And today I checked out A Dennis the Menace Christmas. And this here's an hour and a half of my life that I will never get back. Now, with that being said, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew this movie was not going to be very good. I was expecting a pretty bad movie. Had I actually enjoyed this movie, I would have been very, very surprised. This is a movie that I have in my collection simply just for collecting purposes. I am a completist. I do have to own every movie within a series. And I do own the first 2 Dennis the Menace movies, so of course, I had to have the third as well. And like I said, it was a mess. A really, really bad film. Now, the acting was pretty piss poor, but I can look past that. I've seen many movies of bad acting. I can put that aside. The main problem with this movie is the story. It was a jumbled mess of a story that, I'm sorry, I can't look past. Around the beginning of the movie, you're introduced to this angel from heaven who's come down to earth to have to deliver the Christmas, basically give the Christmas spirit to one person. That's kind of why he's coming down to earth. You don't see him except for one other time within the first hour of the movie. That there should show you something's going wrong. When you have this character come down from heaven, this angel come down from heaven, saying that he has to deliver this Christmas spirit to one person, and you don't see him, you only see him twice the first hour, finally in the last half hour of the movie, we see him more, that there just goes to show you something's going wrong. Like I said, in the last half hour of the movie, he does become a main character. In the last half hour of the movie, all of a sudden the movie goes from this, movie of Dennis the Menace just completely screwing with Mr. Wilson and constantly fucking things up, to the point where the movie all of a sudden becomes sort of a mix between A Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life. And it just does a 180, and I remember watching it thinking, where did the movie I was just watching go? Why did this movie just become, again, a mix between It's a Wonderful Life and A Christmas Carol? It just completely changes, and it just becomes this giant mess. I also get angry at the movie, and I guess they couldn't really do anything, but this whole movie, Dennis the Menace is, again, screwing with Mr. Wilson to the point where he's, like, setting his house on fire. He has his collection of stamps, completely ruins that. He's ruining everything to the point where he's racking up this huge bill. Basically, for every time Dennis screws something up, Mr. Wilson's charging him for him, giving a bill saying, you set my house on fire, here's how much it costs to fix. He ruined all my stamps, here's how much my stamps are worth. And they're just racking up this huge bill where they're in like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of debt. They don't know what they're going to do. They think they're going to have to sell the house. And obviously this is where, at the end, Mr. Wilson learns his... I see, that's the thing. He's supposed to learn his lesson and get the Christmas spirit, because obviously he's a Grinch throughout the whole movie. He's Mr. Wilson. He's a bitter, old, angry man. So at the end of the movie, he's supposed to have the Christmas spirit, and he goes to Dennis's parents and says, you know what, rips up the bill, says, forget about it, it's okay. Dennis the Menace is a great kid. That's where I really have a problem with the movie. Why? That's not Christmas spirit. Just because you don't get the Christmas spirit and forgive a kid for doing these horrible, horrible things. If I go out and murder your family, are you going to say, well, I got the Christmas spirits, don't worry about it? No, I did something really wrong. Not saying Dennis the Menace murdered anybody, but he did cause a lot of damage, did screw a lot of things up. He's not a good kid. He's a menace, hence the name Dennis the Menace. He's a horrible, horrible child. So I don't care how much Christmas spirits you have, you can't look past that. You can't look past the fact that he set fire to your house, he did all these horrible, horrible things, and he is a horrible child. There's no reason to look past that, no matter how much Christmas spirits you have. And that really bugged me. I didn't feel that he learned the Christmas spirit. I feel that he just went mentally insane. He had to. That's the only way you can look past all the stuff that Dennis has done, is to have literally gone crazy. And I don't know, maybe the fact that he met an angel made him go nuts, but I didn't feel that that was really the Christmas spirit. I just did not feel that him forgiving Dennis for everything he did, especially since he did so much, was Christmas spirit. Had he done one thing, had he, put a dent in his car, okay, you can forgive a kid for that, but just the boatload of stuff, as many times that he put Mr. Wilson in the hospital, you just can't forgive a kid, again, no matter how much Christmas spirit you have. So, no, this movie was a mess. It was a complete, just jumbled rush of crap. The movie made no sense. The first hour of the movie is one thing, and then all of a sudden, like I said, the last half hour, we go into something completely different. Just stay away from this film. There's no reason to see it. If I was giving this movie a rating, I would give it a 0-star rating. I mean, I might give it half a star because it's a Christmas film. And like I said, anything that has to do with Christmas, I bump up just a little bit. So, fine. Half a star rating. That's all this would get for me. A horrible, again, horrible, horrible mess. Something you should only own if you are a completist. So that's it for what I bought and what I watched today. Definitely got some great deals today from my local thrift store, and at 50% off everything I picked up, that was even better. And also watching A Dennis the Menace Christmas, it was horrible. Stay away. Do not see the movie. There's no reason to see it. Like I said, the only reason it should even be in your collection is if you are a completist. Otherwise, just leave it alone. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya. This year being the Movie Trilogy Collector's Edition. Fuck.